Wow, this is fantastic. It really is amazing. I feel such a kinship with these filmmakers that so many people still come out to see the older films in a packed house like this. It always does my heart good to imagine that the people who were involved in making a film like Criss Cross, if they would imagine that on Hollywood Boulevard in 2012 there would still be a packed house for a film that they made in 1949. Absolutely fantastic. So you guys are to be credited for that. Good job. I don't know how many of you in the audience tonight are relative neophytes to film noir and how many of you are aficionados or experts or whatever, but I call it Hollywood's only true organic artistic movement. There was no reason these films had to look and feel and sound the way that they did, but a bunch of artists in Hollywood in the 1940s decided that this is the way we wanted to tell mostly crime stories, and so they decided to do it in a particular way that has now become known as noir. And over the next few days, these 5 films that I've selected to show are pretty much what I consider to be the stellar examples of the film noir style, if you will. In many ways, the film that you're about to see, Criss Cross, to me is almost the epitome of film noir. I can't in good conscience say that it is, because there's a film called Double Indemnity that probably is the ne plus ultra of noir. And there's also Out of the Past, which we debated about very much as to whether it was going to be part of this series. But in the end, we elected to show the 5 that you're about to see. And a little secret thing is that several of these films are included specifically because they were independently produced movies. They were not made by the big studios. They were made by small independent producers, and the films were distributed by the big studios. But we did that because I wanted to point out that independent film is not something new in the last 20 years or something. They were making independent films from the start in Hollywood, and there are great examples of film noir that were independently made. The person most responsible for the film that you're about to see tonight, his name is not even on the credits. And he's a very, very significant player in Hollywood in the 1940s, and his name is Mark Hellinger. He was a Broadway columnist and writer, very, very flamboyant, renegade sort of character, and he came to Hollywood in the late 1930s to be a film producer, and really was one of the most significant producers behind the development of film noir. In the late 30s, he made They Drive by Night with Humphrey Bogart, George Raft, Ida Lupino, and Sheridan. And he immediately became a force in Hollywood with a style that became very much part of what we now know as film noir. It was tough talking, very vernacular American speech. He really was drawn to the kind of guys and dolls mentality, the Damon Runyon school. That was very much Mark Hellinger. And in 1946, he made what a lot of us call the Citizen Kane of film noir, which is a film called The Killers, with Burt Lancaster, considered Lancaster's debut film, Ava Gardner. And Criss Cross is very much his follow-up to that. But he never got to see the film made because he died of a heart attack at 43 years of age. And he packed a lot in to those 43 years. But Criss Cross was probably going to be his ultimate noir film. And then he had the heart attack, and Michelle, or Michael Crakey, is now the producer of this film. And of course it reunited the Killers team, which most significantly included the director Robert Siodmak, who I consider to be noir's master stylist. To me, if I had to, you'll see, I'm giving a hint of what you're going to hear tomorrow with Rose when I pick Robert Siodmak as my ultimate film noir director. He has a style that is both very, very sensual, very seductive, but at the same time extremely sinister and foreboding, and that right there says everything you need to know about film noir. That's what it is. I want to go there. I shouldn't go there. I'm going there. That pretty much explains noir in a nutshell. So the movie is based on a 1934 novel by a man named Don Tracy, and if you ever have a chance to read the novel, don't. It really isn't any good. But it shows you the brilliance of the people who made this film, because they take what's a very, very routine cops and robbers story with barely a trace of this ménage à trois, film noir, ménage à trois, we're getting very French tonight, and they turn it into a very complex story with flashbacks within flashbacks, and it's just really just spellbinding. This is a dream of noir. And of course your cast is extraordinary. It's Burt Lancaster again. And those of you who only know Yvonne DeCarlo as Lily Munster, you are in for a surprise tonight. This is her great role in film noir. She actually is, the camera's on her for my single favorite shot in all of film noir, which you will see in the very first scene of this movie in the parking lot, where she looks directly at the camera and implores Burt Lancaster to, oh my God, yes, that is so fantastic. And of course the great villain, Dan Duryea, who will have a special place in our hearts. If you have not seen Dan Duryea in a film before, you are in for a treat, because he is one of the most unique characters in Hollywood history. His specialty, he became a superstar by slapping women on film. Boatloads of fan mail would come into the studio because they loved the way Dan Duryea would backhand women. Animal magnetism. And people don't realize this, but this is a true story. When the Los Angeles Police Department was first testing what was like the very first fax machine, it was used to transmit like portraits of people to identify them as suspects and all this stuff. The very first one, they gave it the first public trial for PR purposes. It was Dan Duryea's face that they sent out for the thing. This is the villain. So there, we've got the perfect setup. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy Criss Cross. Racket to the rabbit.